Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 59. When we last left our heroes, we had the tragic ending of Valkyrie's story, as she's killed defending the labor district from a bunch of stone monsters that Madame Kurenai sent out in order to gain more stones faster. And while she protected the village, she lost her life. There's also still plenty this brings in the Madame Kurenai we see at the beginning of the chapter when she's not in power, and the Madame Kurenai we see in the present day. There's a lot of questions to be brought there that I imagine the arc will be getting to. But yeah, it was pretty heavy shit, and it ended on Homura in front of Valkyrie's destroyed body. So yeah, let's jump right back into Chapter 59, being able to move forward. We'll see if Homura can do that. Our cover is of Shiki, raring his fist, punch through with all your strength. And we open right where we left off with Homura shaking. Valkyrie-sama, the long-awaited reunion of the two, meets a goodbye full of forever tears. And everyone looks at the two of them with tears in their eyes. Paws are streaming down. She protected us. Then she died. It's all a lie. My teacher. And we see she balls her hand into a fist. I wanted to see her. All this time. Just wanted to see her. How could this happen? As she falls down to her knees. Teacher, it's me, Homura. Please respond to me. Teacher, please. Open your eyes. And the rest of the crew just keeps crying. Wait, can't Wise fix her? Can't he? And she turns back to the rest of the crew, desperate for some kind of answer. Or maybe Sister can fix her. And Pino responds, an android is the same as a human. If the core stops, it means they're the same as dead. No. And with that, the tears stream down with renewed intensity. It can't be true. Then I can't see my teacher again. And a sound calls out over the labor district. Or maybe not. There's some kind of symbol here. I can't read the symbol. But we have shots of the labor district just kind of existing. And we cut to Rebecca, who is curled up in a ball. I'm guessing crying, but we can't see her face. And we cut to the two robots. Where's Homura? By Valkyrie's side. It looks like the four starshines won't assemble. It would appear that way. Yeah, I did mention last time maybe that that Valkyrie could be fixed, but as Pino told us on the last page, she's done. So again, I don't know what the solution to getting out of the Psychocosmos is, because that was our goal, right? And now that's not an option. Anyway, a couple of big burly bar guys walk over to Rebecca. I can't believe that was Homura. Such a way to meet. I'm guessing they were allies of Valkyrie, and so they know the story. From that day forward, we named ourselves the Valkyrie clan and pledged our loyalty. Yep, that's right. You devote your lives to her. Why do you leave her out there? It's not like that. She's the symbol, or our flag. Because she's there, we can keep going. That's right. Until Homura came here, we felt like we shouldn't move her. I see. In order to rebel against the Crimson Woman, we made preparations. We're the Resistance. Now that Homura is here, the last piece is in place. And we see the entire bar are now ready to join up on our side to fight the Crimson Woman. Fight with us! Gotta avenge Valkyrie! We've reached our limit in this way of life. And Rebecca kind of calmly shuts them down. Right now, we should just leave her alone. And then we cut back to Homura is still kneeling by Valkyrie as the sun shines beyond them. And Shiki walks up to the two of them. Your teacher is truly amazing. So strong and so cool, protecting humankind. She's got courage, too. She has such a kind soul. She would have been a good friend. This is not what Homura needs right now. And Homura, freezes, in response to what he said. Shiki, I don't think I'll be able to keep going. And Shiki looks at her. I think that's okay, for right now. No, not again. Not ever. And Shiki responds, "When my grandpa died, I got super depressed. But Michael was there, and the townspeople were there. My friends were there. That's why I got up." Don't you have friends, Homura? I actually really do like this exchange with these last two pages. I like I like both Shiki and Rebecca acknowledging that Homura needs time to process the fact that her entire goal was for nothing. That Valkyrie was dead the entire time. But also, as Shiki reminds her, she can't just sit there and rot. There are people who are counting on her. That's why they'll be able to get back up again. And Homura looks down pensively. I also really do like this shot of Shiki walking away and leaving Homura to, process things. And Homura continues thinking, and Shiki passes by Paul, and Paul raises his hand like this. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. And we see Shiki's face, and he is livid now. Then we cut to the gold building. The Crimson Eye. We've sequenced it to irradiate the slums district. System check started. And our old enemy, the Crimson Woman, just smiles. Crimson Woman, are you serious? This is, what's his face? The weeb guy, who helped Rebecca get into the slums district. There are many thousands of people out there. They won't be of any profit to me. I also can't forgive those pieces of scum that dare dishonor me and hold Valkyrie so dear to their hearts. So she knows what's going on there. That's interesting. And again, it just makes me wonder what happened to her to where she hates Valkyrie so much. Isn't Valkyrie the one that saved your life? You're so noisy, Nino. What's his name? Garida or something? Who kidnapped Homura? Snaps at Nino. When the Crimson Woman says so, she says so. She saved me? What a terrible joke. I just used her. I came here by my own power. I don't have any connection to those pieces of trash. I do remember Valkyrie telling me to return to my child. Hee hee. I left my child there to come here. What stupid hesitation. Ha 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 ha. I don't know. I'm skeptical of that. Mainly because just reading last chapter, that's not the vibe she gives off. At her weakest point, I don't think she'd be keeping up some kind of lie like that. Also, this is Mashima, and I've already seen the comparisons between the Crimson Woman and Eileen. So I could definitely see that kind of thing coming, except here it would be much better foreshadowed than with Eileen. And Eileen's sudden, oh, I loved you the whole time deal that didn't really track for anybody. I can see it tracking much better here. Just based on those few pages of 58. A sudden turn towards remembering how much she loves her child makes a lot more sense for her. So I'm still expecting that to be the route we go on if there is some bigger story there. Also because I just think that's a better story. Anyway, just then, so the last page ends with a zoom-in close-up on a window. And the window shatters. And Shiki is barged in. Who's the one named the Crimson Woman? What the hell? Who are you? This kid. This is the 120... it's Garida who recognized him, of course. Then the lion guy. This is the 120th floor. How did he... he has gravity powers. I will take you to Homura, because that was Valkyrie's wish. Homura? She's on this world? Is that child mad at me? Or is she crying because I threw her away? And Shiki just glares at her. What happens with you is up to Homura. I'm sorry to say, but I have no interest in my daughter. And Shiki just increases his gravity. The floor, craters. Wah! The floor is collapsing! I'll take you. After I punch a hole through it. Oh, that's scary now, isn't it? And she, gets into some kind of battle stance. To be continued in chapter 60 until it turns to strength. I'm not sure what that punch a hole through it is? What's the it he's referring to? Because there is no antecedent to that it. Is it the floor? I doubt that doesn't make much sense. her face? Maybe. I mean, it's a being hyperbolic, I guess. Anyway, so on to my more general review part. I'm very shocked with how fast this is going. Especially like, given the first 15 pages or so. I was expecting a lot more time before we moved on to fighting the Crimson Woman. Especially with this bit of introducing the Valkyrie clan. Is that what they're called? Yeah, the Valkyrie clan. I expected them to kind of do something before we... I don't... Though, then again, I don't know if this is the final battle with the Crimson Woman, because, again, it's so sudden. There's this... I do really love this great bit with Shiki and Homura here. But then, this is kind of... Everyone's saying, take your time, rest a little bit. Both Rebecca and Shiki say that to Homura. And I was figuring with there that the arc would kind of be doing that too. Instead, Shiki is already bursting down the door of the gold building. And again, I do wish that was... I do wish it was Homura here. That we had taken some time, let Homura collect herself, eventually realize that she does have to move forward. And then, once the whole, rebellion starts... It's Homura in the end who has to face her mother alone. Though that could still happen. There's still a lot of different things that could happen. Shiki could get his ass whooped and then Homura comes by herself next time. I'm not sure. And then the last thing, again, is the Crimson Woman's story about never caring about Homura. I don't buy it. I don't think it makes sense from a narrative perspective. I don't think it makes sense from what we saw of her in 58. I think it's a worse story than if something happened to her while she was, after she met Valkyrie. Looking back at those first few pages of 58, it just doesn't really track that she's, at that point, scheming to gain power? That doesn't make much sense. I'm skimming through it. But it just seems that that she's not, she doesn't come across like she's lying here, It comes across that she's desperate, that she's honestly, wants to go home, but she has this debt to pay. She can't leave because of the necklace, and that they'll come after her. These are all, they all make sense. She doesn't seem to be in a position here to be scheming. So I think there's definitely something going on here. And again, the fact that this is the same author that wrote the Irene fight, or Eileen fight, depending on what translator you're using, seems that, that's a theme. That's a thing that Mashima... It's a storyline that Mashima's already done, and it makes more sense here than it ever did against Irene. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what comes with this next time, but I'm going to leave this video off here. If you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself, if you did, feel free to let me a like, or subscribe, or do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!